Okay. And when I ask you a question, try to like kind of repeat it just so because they can't hear me asking the questions.
Okay.
So it'll just be like if I say like, how long have you been the coach? I've been the coach for. Okay. So how long have you been a coach at Ball State?
Am I supposed to look at you?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, just talk to me.
This is my 8th season at Ball State, so I started in the summer of 2004.
What made you come here?
I was an assistant coach at the University of Mississippi for 3 years, and that's where I obtained my master's degree. And then when I was ready to become a head coach, I looked online, and this is the job that caught my eye, and this is where things worked out for me.
As far as the team, and since you've been here, how has it grown, or how's the program advanced?
We've definitely advanced and grown since I've been here. The program started in 2000 after being cut in 1982. So there was a big gap where there wasn't women's golf at Ball State. So since I've been here, it's kind of been one of my goals and one of the things that motivates me and keeps me excited year to year is that we are in a position where we do get better every year, and my objective is to continue to build and grow the program every year.
Have you got like more girls and then more talent, obviously, if you guys have?
Yeah, it's mostly more talent, bringing in better student athletes, or just very talented student athletes who are good students and good golfers. We have a very competitive schedule, and that's very appealing to recruits. We travel around and play against some very good competition throughout the country.
Who do you play? Like, what are your big competition schools?
So most tournaments are 12 to 15 teams, and that's what we do. We play in 10 tournaments a year, approximately 5 in the fall, 5 in the spring. So we always see big fields. There are 80, 90, 100 golfers every time we enter a tournament. We compete in the Mid-American Conference like all Ball State schools do. So our biggest tournament would be the MAC Championships at the end of April.
At the end of April?
Yeah.
So your season, what's your season like go from?
We are considered a spring championship sport.
Oh.
So we play in the fall, we compete in the fall, and then essentially we just take a 3-month break in the middle and then pick up again in February.
Oh, that's really cool. So what kind of competitions do you do in the fall then?
The tournaments we play in the fall look exactly like the ones in the spring. The only difference is the championships, conference and national championships are at the end of the spring season.
Okay. Who would you say is your biggest competitor? Or I don't know if you guys have rivals or...
Yeah, in the conference, Kent State has been the #1 team in our conference for women's golf for 12 years. They've never lost the MAC championship, so they're undefeated. They win that tournament every year. So it's always our goal to try and knock them off and beat them.
No kidding. How was your tournaments in the fall? How did they go for your team?
We did pretty well. We had three of our tournaments. We finished in the top 5. And we were pleased with that. We had some very good individual finishes and individual milestones, some personal bests from certain players, and then a couple of top 5 individual performances. So a lot of highlights from our fall season.
Who are the top 5 that placed the best? Is that how you?
Our freshman Jenna Haig, she's from Burlington, Ontario. She was our #1 player when all was said and done after our 5 tournaments in the fall. She led the team in scoring average. She came 3rd in her very first tournament and just 1 shot out of first place. And she had a couple of other solid finishes. So she's been great so far.
Who are the other top ones?
Megan Perry, she's a sophomore from Evansville. She shot a career best 71, 1 under par in her first round of the season at Illinois State. So that was a great achievement for her, and really helped her to see in all of us what she's capable of.
That's amazing. I've never really golfed. I've been to the driving range. I can't even imagine how I would be on the course. You said earlier that the team got cut in 1982. Do you know why? Just not enough players, or?
Just for budget reasons. Basically, any time a team gets cut from the NCAA, it's just for budgetary.
And does that? And sorry, I just don't know much about that. Does that happen like university based, or like since Ball State's team got cut, did other schools get cut too then in 1982?
It's independent to each university.
Okay.
I mean, you see it even today. You see whether it's a wrestling program or a swimming program at a school like in the Midwest or in California. unfortunately it continues to happen, and it just because of the issues for funding particular sports. And then of course the Title IX and gender equity states that numbers for men and women and dollar allocations for men and women athletes have to be the same. So sometimes that's the reason for cutting some sports.
Huh, I didn't know that. Okay, going back to your team. What are you guys doing now to prepare for your spring season?
Right now, we have taken a significant break from golf. We have to. We're in an 8-hour segment right now. When we're in season, we are 20 hours a week of practice and tournaments and competition and working out. And in our off season, which is designated by the NCAA how many days we have for in season and out of season, we just have 8 hours a week right now. So only 2 of those hours can be skill instruction.
Okay.
So golfing, we can only do that per my request for 2 hours a week. And then we're in the weight room for the balance of the week. And we really focus on getting the athletes stronger, more fit, more explosive and powerful. It's kind of an overall focus of strength, power, and conditioning.
So what kind of exercises or weights do you have them do more of?
Anything that develops them as athletes to be more powerful, more explosive, because the golf swing,
Okay.
I mean, it takes less than 2 seconds to complete a golf swing. So it's a very fast motion, and it requires a lot of quick turns in your big muscles, like your hips, your shoulders, your back, and the more explosiveness you can have from transferring your weight or just turning through the ball, the better, more consistent you're going to be, the better your sequence will be, and the farther you'll hit it. So we focus a lot on movements, and essentially Olympic weightlifting moves that we do in here that focus on power and explosion.
What are some of the Olympic?
Well, they're called, the squat. The squat's a big one.
Okay.
And then the power clean and the jerk and the push press and the snatch are all the names of some of the Olympic moves that we've been working on.
That's cool. That's really cool. I never knew that. I know in high school our golf team would go in the weight room, but
Yeah.
I don't really know what all they did.
It's fun because there's a lot of technique that you have to learn
Oh yeah.
to be able to perform the Olympic moves. And once you get the technique down, then you can start building on the weight. So it's been a progression for us, and for me it's been so awesome to see my players packing on the weight at the end of their bars and effectively producing these motions with all that weight. So they are getting stronger. That's been our goal.
That's cool. That's cool to see them develop
Yeah.
as a coach. When exactly does your season start again?
We
In spring?
first travel mid-February, so we'll start our full-on practice a month prior to that.
And where do you guys practice? Like at what course?
In the winter, we go to MD's Golf Academy. It's in Muncie, and that's where there's an indoor putting green and heated stalls where we hit out onto the range
Oh, cool.
until the courses around here open up, usually the beginning of March, and then we go to the Players Club and Delaware Country Club.
That's cool. And do you guys have like home meets? Are they meets?
Yeah, tournaments. We host
okay.
one tournament here, and that's in September at the Players Club.
Cool.
Otherwise, we're on the road. We travel to all our other tournaments.
And you travel everywhere? Well, in the MAC.
Not necessarily. We just travel to, like this fall, we traveled all around the Midwest for all 5 tournaments. And then this spring, we'll go to Texas, Arizona, Arkansas, and then locally, we have 2 tournaments in Indiana. So in February and March, early March, you need to go where it's warm.
Yeah.
So that's the one nice thing. The good and the bad thing about golf is, one, we get to go to nice places.